I am so happy that one person is out there. For the longest time, there were zero viewers, and I was afraid that people weren't interested in yoga for farting. And I really have no idea why a person wouldn't be, because we all fart. And we all have gas and bloating, and sometimes it hurts. And there are some very quick and easy things you can do with your body to get the fart to come out. So I'm not going to be quite so lewd, because I'm about to start what will be recorded and reposted on my channel. But for you, my friend, that's out there listening, you get to hear the inside scoop. Okay, so we'll get started in an official manner. Hi, my name is Quinn, and we will be doing some yoga for gas and bloating and digestion, and you need maybe some private space to do this, which should just be polite to your roommates and family members. And you don't actually have to have any props. You can do it without, but you know me, I really like props. They do serve a purpose. So 2 blocks, this could be 2 couch pillows, just 2 things of even size. We are going to support our legs, 1 on each side, and you want them to be even. A blanket or a small pillow, which will be a pillow, and then a bolster or a firm pillow. And this could be like the back of your couch cushion or something. We're going to get started in a pose that helps us open up the abdomen so that we can soften the muscles and relieve any tension that might be working its way through the body, along with any IBS or any other symptoms, the belly symptoms that you might have. This practice, I should say, is not for if you have active diarrhea. There are some poses that we'll do that aren't good for you, if that's you. And I'll try to remember to tell you what those are. This one you can do, so just in case. So here you want to make sure that your blocks or whatever you're using in place of blocks are nearby. And you'll set up your firm pillow behind you like this, and a blanket or another pillow across it, which will go underneath your head. You'll sit right at the short end of your firm pillow, and then lay down over it. Should feel nice. Adjusting whatever you have underneath your head so that it's comfortable, and then tucking your shoulder blades underneath you. And then here's where you grab your supports here. Place one on either side of your hips. Then bring your soles of your feet to touch, and let your knees open wide and rest on top of the supports underneath them. Okay? So get yourself set up. We'll be here for a little while. It takes time to relax. Most of us, unless we've practiced for years and years, don't just relax on command. So that's why we spend time in these fully supported shapes to help our bodies relax. So now you can bring your hands and arms to anywhere that they're comfortable. I like to put mine by the side of the body at a low V, palms face up, which helps the heart and chest area open. And let your body rest really comfortably down on your props. Now, as you get settled, I'll just make some notes here. If your low back hurts or feels compressed, pick up your butt and scoot it towards your heels, then place it back down. And that will lengthen your low back. If your knees hurt, you might try higher support underneath your thighs, or you might just straighten your legs and forget about the butterfly shape we have in the legs. And if your mid-back hurts, maybe what's underneath you is too big. So just lay flat on the floor without any props. Hopefully by now you've found your way into a pose. Technically this is called Supta Baddha Konasana. And close your eyes if you haven't already. And pay attention to your breath. So notice when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out. And some days it might take more of like a feat of willpower to draw your mind away from your thoughts. and to your breath. And if it's one of those days, you might repeat in your head, breathing in when you breathe in and breathing out when you breathe out. And while we're here, we'll go on a little mental tour of your digestive system, of your GI tract in the belly. We'll actually start from the diaphragm, which is not so much part of your digestive system. It's your primary muscle of breathing. Place your hands on your low ribs. So the middle fingers might touch in a space between the front low ribs, and the rest of the surface area of your palms just lies gently on the rib cage. And you'll notice as you breathe in that the ribs expand laterally, right to left, and up and down. And as you breathe out, they kind of fall back in towards center. What's happening underneath your hands as you inhale? So your diaphragm muscle is contracting and drawing down towards your belly, compressing all of the organs in your belly. And as you breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes, draws back up underneath your ribs, and that makes space in the low belly. So your organs have a little bit more room to breathe, so to speak. And so with every breath you're taking, your GI tract is being pressed down towards the pelvic floor and then released. So just deep breathing not only relaxes you, but also massages the digestion. Now bring your right hand down to your right front hip and slide it in towards the navel so that your palm is flat on the right side of your belly. And you might feel the fingertips down towards your pubic bone, the heel of the hand up towards your ribs on the right side. And what your hand is resting on top of is the ascending colon, or this is the small intestine. It's the shorter one, but bigger around in width. And I like to call it the poop chute because it's basically where the poop goes before it comes out of your body. It's already processed through your large intestine in the middle, and then it comes over here, and it travels from bottom to top. So it travels from your hip up to the ribs in the colon here, in the ascending colon. So then draw your fingers up to right underneath your right low ribs. And then once you hit the ribs, then begin to trace your fingers over to the left. So moving from right to left. We're about to get in a clockwise direction here. So we're moving across the transverse colon, and then it takes a turn, and then drag your fingers down the left side belly. So from ribs down to hips, and this is the descending colon. And after you finish the descending colon, then it moves out of your body, whether we're talking about poops or gas, okay? So if you've got any bloating or constipation, you can actually just gently massage your belly like this in a clockwise manner. So up the right, across, and down the left. And this will physically help move things through you, in and out. Now, if you're having diarrhea, so the opposite of constipation, right, you don't want to make things go through you faster, so you wouldn't want to do this. You might even try in the opposite direction, in a counterclockwise direction. Okay, and we're going to be working with the colon throughout class. That's why this class works. Yoga for gas, it's not just some mystical thing. We're actually pressing the gas out of us. You might burp, you might fart. That's what we're going for. You know, sometimes therapeutically, we need to do that to feel better. And so we work from right side to left side, from ascending colon to descending colon. We work in the direction that the things move out of us in. Okay, we're just supporting the natural flow of farts. And I laugh about this because maybe I'm immature. It's, hard to say farts in a yoga class without laughing because it's kind of funny. It's good to practice at home because, it's not the best to be in a room full of farters. So anyway, bring your hands underneath your knees, pull your knees together, and then move your blocks or whatever was underneath your knees out. Set them aside. And then roll off to one side off of your support underneath you if you're using it. And then move that off your mat too. And just kind of come down to your mat to lie on your back, flat on the mat. Knees bent, feet on the floor. And if your head and neck is uncomfortable, then take your small pillow or blanket and place it underneath your head so you're comfortable. And here we just pull the right knee into the chest. Okay, colon, remember we're compressing the ascending colon, the right side of our low belly. So you might feel the thigh connected into the belly, you might not. It's okay if you don't feel anything. You could place your hand or maybe one of your pillows between your thigh and your belly so that there is some compression that's happening on that right side. And you can leave the left knee bent or straighten the left leg long. Just two different sensations through the left side body. But really what we're going for in this, sequence to relieve gas, bloating, is compression here on this right side. So breathe deep. Remember, every inhale breath, your diaphragm drops and it really compresses the belly muscles. And now there's another compression of the thigh into the chest. And then place your left foot on the ground if it isn't already. Release your right foot to meet it and pull your left knee into the chest, moving right to left. Make sure you're feeling some compression between thigh and low belly. And then if you want to, you can straighten the right leg. Again, that part doesn't really matter. If it feels better, great. If you don't want to do it, great. And just breathe. And try not to force anything. We don't want to create tension. Just trust the process that you'll be doing this for 30 minutes and it's going to help, okay? Nothing mystical about it. Then bring the right foot back to the floor and pull your right knee into the chest to meet the left. Now we've got full compression of the belly. So continue to breathe deeply. And you might even rock gently from side to side, pulling the right knee in a little closer as you round and compress the right side belly, and then over to the left side, pulling the left knee in. And relax through your anus, I have to say it. Just relax through the pelvic floor. And the anal sphincter muscle is part of the pelvic floor. It's just part of our body. You also have a sphincter in your throat. Surprise, the shape of a muscle. So just relax that, let it go if you're ready. And still your knees. Roll to one side and come onto hands and knees. And if your knees are sensitive, you'll place your blanket that my cat is on top of underneath your knees so that you're more comfortable. And we'll bring the arms in front of you. Leave your hips over your knees. Walk your hands far away from your knees and bring your forehead down to the ground. First order of business, if your shoulders feel compressed or uncomfortable, spread them a little bit wider. And if this doesn't work for you for any reason, you can take a child's pose or lay flat on your belly. And just make your low body comfortable. You can adjust where your knees are, maybe cross your ankles. Different people like different things. And continue to breathe deeply. So we got into the realm of the pelvic floor and all of the various muscles, right? So this position that we're in helps the pelvic floor release and relax. And that actually automatically happens as you inhale. There's like a balloon blowing up inside of you and the pelvic floor expands away from the center of you. And as you exhale, it moves back towards the center in a gentle contraction. Just working how it's meant to. Here too, you can really let your belly kind of fall down towards the ground if that's comfortable. You might bend your elbows and place your elbows on the floor if that's more comfortable to you. If your low back hurts at all, then point the tailbone away from the rest of the spine, which will help you engage through some muscles that protect the low back. Or you can find a different pose, like child's pose or on your belly. And here we're also upside down, so we're, reversing our digestive system's normal orientation to gravity. The butt is above the stomach. That makes a difference. And then we'll move from here into something that's compressive. So our belly's kind of open here. Come back onto your hands and knees. Walk your knees and calves together so your legs are touching, and then sit back into a child's pose with the knees together. Then fold forward, bring your forehead on the ground, and swing your arms behind you so the backs of the hands are by your feet. Now again, if this doesn't work for you because of knee problems or anything else, that's okay. You can lay on the belly. You might even take your blanket across your mat if you are laying on your belly, and then lay on top of the blanket. So there is some compression in your belly. So something is pushing into it as you breathe. All right, and if you just ate, this might not be the right time to do this practice. And here again, you've moved back into this compressive state. Continue to breathe deeply, relaxing where you can. All right, bring your hands out in front of you. Come back up onto tabletop, that is hands and knees. And curl your toes under and lift up into a downward facing dog. Then walk your feet forward to your hands. And if the backs of your legs are really tight, spread your feet wider than your hips and bend the knees deeply. And plant down through the feet and slowly roll up through the spine. All right, come to standing tall, feet underneath your hips. They're at a comfortable distance. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. So as you inhale, sweep your arms overhead. All right, grab your right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, lengthen up higher with the right side body, and exhale, side bend to the left. Imagine you're moving up and over a beach ball. You're also opening up this right side body and breathing deep. Okay, you're standing. Inhale, come back to center, switch arms, grabbing left wrist with right hand, and side bend over to the right. So here we actually went left, right, which is what I wouldn't do if I was thinking a little bit more about it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt you. We're still just getting things to move in the belly. And inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, release your hands down by the side of the body. We'll take a few roll downs. If you were in my Yoga for the Spine class this week, you've done this already. So imagine you have a long kangaroo tail, which kind of lands on the floor behind you. That'll come in handy to protect the spine in a second. But we'll roll down. So arms hang down by the side. Tuck your chin into your chest and roll down vertebra by vertebra. So try not to let your spine move in any big chunks. And notice how the front side of your body can draw into the body and then up. So it's like supporting the flexion or the forward folding in the spine. And you'll bend your knees when you need to. When you get all the way down, here's where the kangaroo tail comes in handy. Press down into your kangaroo tail, dropping the hips slightly, and roll up one vertebra at a time. Go slow. And we're using our six-pack abs here. You might think, I don't have a six-pack. Well, you definitely have a rectus abdominis. And they really are like 6 different little sets of muscles that you can contract and help your spine round up and round down. And we're going to do this one more time. So arms hang like zombies. Try to move one vertebra at a time and control the speed of your descent with the six-pack abs. So we're massaging to our belly. On the way down, we're going from top to bottom. So again, it's compressive. And on the way up, in your own time, it's compressive from bottom to top. It's just getting things moving here. And when you reach top, pause. You might have to move some debris off of your mat. Oh, I'm sorry, kitty. And we'll head down to downward dog in sort of a nice little flow. So inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees as much as you need to plant your hands on the ground, and then step back into downward facing dog. We won't be here for long, and you can always come down to your knees. Step your right foot forward between your hands and bring your left knee down to the ground. You can keep your back toe curled under, pointed back, it doesn't matter. If your hands have a hard time reaching the ground, then grab your blocks or some of your pillows and you can kind of lift them up, but we're keeping the fingertips down. Here, the right knee is compressive into the belly, right? So just take some deep breaths, and we're having the bonus of opening up the hips and the thighs. Plant your hands down on the ground, curl your back toes under and lift the knee, and then either step back to tabletop or downward facing dog. You bring your left foot forward between the hands and lower your right knee down to the ground. Same thing, we keep the belly touching the left thigh, and we breathe deeply. So it's basically just repeating the same right side compression, left side compression. And it's not only the compression, but getting the body moving, so a little bit of flow that we're doing helps everything move inside of you. So just exercising or going for a walk can help with bloating and gas too. And any one of these poses or shapes that you remember can help you in your time of need if it isn't right now. Okay, plant your hands, curl the right toes under, lift the right knee off the ground, and either tabletop or downward facing dog. We'll head back into that closed leg child's pose, or if you're laying on your belly with the blanket. Okay, so come back down. I didn't tell you earlier, but if your head doesn't reach the ground, then place a block or a pillow underneath it. Just whatever you need to do to get the belly compressed to the whole thing, and then breathe deeply, relaxing through your pelvic floor, relaxing through all of the muscles, and allowing for the compression, release, the massaging and movement of your abdominal organs. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and sit yourself up. And swing your legs out in front of you. Okay, here, take your blanket or whatever you got, the pillow, whatever, and sit your hips up on top of it. Then send your legs out. Pull your right knee into the chest. Again, we've got some compression. Now this actually takes a lot of hip flexibility, so if your knee's not all the way into the chest, that's okay. Don't worry so much about there being compression. We're about to twist, and that's a whole nother thing that helps. But if you do have the compression, think about that as you breathe deeply. Just one more breath here. And now we'll twist. So bring your right fingertips behind you, twist to the right. Think about moving your navel from left to right. And you can hug on to your right knee with the left arm, or you can move your left elbow on the outer right knee. It doesn't matter, whatever is working for your body today. And breathe deep. So now we're twisting. So there's another separate, different relationship of the organs in our belly. And with every breath, you're still getting that smush and release. The smush and release as you inhale and exhale. Twisting is often where we get the relief, the GI relief, where the burps come or the farts come or whatever. Okay, and then come back to center. Straighten your right leg. Bounce your knees out if you need it. Then bend your left knee into your chest. And again, if it doesn't get all the way up there, don't worry. Just breathe. And we'll move into the twist. Bring your left hand behind you, twist to the left. Again, think about your navel moving from right to left. And either hug the right knee or hook your elbow. It's not really about going as deep as you can, really. It's about like just moving the body in a fart-wise manner. Alrighty, come back to center. Straighten your left leg out, and you can bounce your legs out as needed. And then we'll come down to lying on the back for the last few twists and shapes, okay? So move everything out of your way. If you're close to a wall like me, move away from it a little bit. And come to lying on the back. And pull your knees into your chest. We've been here before. Hug them in, breathe deep. Relax through your pelvic floor and your butthole. Then bring the arms out to a T. You can bend 90 degrees at the elbow if you like. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly drop your knees over to the right. You might keep your knees tucked in towards your elbow. If this hurts your back or your legs or anywhere, just adjust until it feels okay for you. And maybe twisting doesn't work for you today. So on an inhale breath, bring your knees back to center, pull them tight to your chest, and when you exhale, drop them over to the left. And we're not totally done with our twisting yet. Inhale back to center. Hold on to your right knee, and this time do extend your left leg long. So we're back in this ascending colon compression, just the right side. And we'll take this into a twist. So hold your right knee with your left hand, release your right arm out to a T. Inhale. And as you exhale, twist your knee over to the left. And go easy with this one. You're also kind of opening around the SI joint, and some people's SI joint is tender. Breathe deep. Okay, inhale, come back to center. Place your right foot down on your cat, if you're me. Pull the left knee into your chest and extend the right leg long. So I didn't tell you what props you would need. I didn't realize you would need a cat underneath your thigh, but it actually is kind of nice. All right, release your left arm out to the left. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, twist to the right, pulling your left knee over to the right side of your body and breathing. And again, if anything causes pain, it's just not for you today, so don't do it. Inhale, back to center. Both knees come back into the chest. And if you like, rock side to side. Now you know so much more about relaxing through your pelvic floor. Wink, wink, you know what I mean. And about the ascending and descending colon. This is actually super convenient, this knowledge, because it is your colon, it's your poop chute. If you're massaging it and you're constipated, you can feel a hard spot. You can feel where you need to help it flow. And you can actually do that with your own hands, just with a massage. You don't always have to reach for a laxative or something, not right away. All right. Place your feet on the ground. Keep your knees bent. Let your knees knock in towards one another. Then bring your hands back to your low ribs. Feel for how your low ribs grow with your inhale and shrink with your exhale. And just a little journey of some food you swallow. Saliva in your mouth begins to digest it. And you swallow and it's moved down the throat and into the stomach. And the stomach is more or less underneath your left hand. It's on the left side of the body. The stomach churns the food, actually tossing it side to side. And it leaves the stomach and enters the large intestine. So if you place one of your hands over your navel, right there at the center of the stomach, this is about the area of your large intestine. And that's the one that's like, I don't know, like many football fields long. I don't know. But it's this tiny, it's small in diameter, but long. It's called the large intestine. And it's processed through there, and your gut bacteria helps digest your food. It moves, and your body absorbs nutrients. And then it moves over to the right side of the low belly into the small intestine. And moves up the right side belly to the ribs, across the chest from right to left, down the left side belly, and out the body. And that is the journey of a morsel of food. Okay, and you're all done here for now. So pull your knees into your chest, roll to one side, and slowly sit yourself up. And now we're come back into a regular orientation to gravity. So head above hips. That's how humans stand. We're bipedal, so your digestive system, when upright like this, functions the best. So if you're having trouble digesting, it's nice to sit up straight after some of these movements and just sort of let it work with gravity. All right, I hope this helped, and that I didn't embarrass you with my fart talk. Probably totally shifted the brand image of open awareness yoga, and I'm okay with that because I'm a proponent of farting. And I put my hands together at my heart and bow to you for practicing with me, and in gratitude to yoga, to the rishis in South Asia and in India that passed these practices down to us, that knew just as well as we did and better how to care for the human body, mind, and soul. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions or requests for yoga for whatever. Bye.